All right. So, everybody, our first trailer tonight is for a game that I think probably inspired For Honor.
You
Maybe.
think?
I think so.
I think
Because
this game, if this is what I think it is, I think this game is inspired by a different game. Um,
maybe I'm
Trying to think,
thinking of a different game.
what's it called?
But
For Honor is like the commercial release, like glorified third-person fighting game that
yeah.
should only be like a one-on-one or two-on-two experience.
Yeah.
But decided they needed a campaign for some reason. But the
Yeah.
one I'm thinking of is it's the motion-based medieval fighter. What is that called? Shit, like it's first person, and like when you swing your sword, you like
Isn't
move
that
your
this game?
camera.
Isn't it
No, this is
Kingdom Come?
no, this is based on that. This is totally different
Oh.
developer, and I think it's based on that original
Well,
design.
yeah, I'm totally thinking of something different then. But this is a trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance. And this is the official story trailer. It's called Born from Ashes. So, do
Sounds
you
like
have it
Dark
up?
Souls. I do.
All right. Go ahead and press play. We'll get it going.
Okay, Bob.
Peggy 16.
It looks nice.
Henry,
If that's not pre-rendered.
get up now. There's work to be done.
It's got to be right.
Wait, what's this?
Shit.
You've been at that sword play again. Haven't
Damn it.
you?
What got into you, Hal?
You breaking stuff?
Your friend
No, we're good.
Dung at Deutsch's freshly whitewashed house. Deutsch was talking treason in the tavern about Sigismund and the king.
Someone has to bring order and reunite the empire.
That's for Sigismund. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
We're just doing what we have to do.
Your sons! I'll make those smiles off your faces!
Look me in the eye. If you want to convince someone that they're wrong, try using your mouth and not your fists.
Henry, help us!
Help us, son. Don't be a coward.
If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
We have to prepare for the worst.
You spend all your days drinking and chasing wenches. What kind of fool are you, boy?
You have courage, but you need training, arms, a horse.
Please, take me into your service and give me the chance to learn these things.
Put it all behind you.
I feel like these people sound a little too modern.
The time has come for those whoresons to pay for what they did to us.
Yeah, like their voices,
Move,
Yeah,
their voice acting.
sir.
yeah.
They're coming. There's no time.
All right. Well, that was the trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance. I do realize that you guys probably had a hard time hearing that, and I'm sorry. But for the edit, I'll get that figured out. So I apologize.
Yeah, I think that that the game's gameplay that I've seen in the past for that looks pretty cool, and that looks okay. I feel like the the voice acting's a little bit here and there. Like some of them felt good, in that they didn't feel out of place, and some of them felt like I could meet this guy in the streets.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily. I mean, they didn't show much gameplay, but I don't
think they showed any.
It was a story trailer, but I also didn't feel like I got much of a story at all from it either. It was just
It's vague like talk of war,
yeah.
basically.
You need to use your fists and not your mouth. It's like okay.
It's like, well, I don't want to play the talking simulator game.
Yeah, it's like yeah. I mean, I didn't really get anything from it. I think that the graphics because I don't think this is a AAA developer.
I don't think so either.
But I think the graphics for the game looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
Based on how I feel like the game is going to play, the graphics are very good.
yeah.
Considering that, because like a lot of what made Chivalry is the game I was thinking.
Chivalry, that's the one I was thinking of too.
Chivalry, yeah.
That's my bad.
A lot of the things that went into the programming side of Chivalry is like heavily within the physics engine, because it's all based on the physics engine. And tracking where your sword is and having really precise hitboxes and all that fun stuff is like where they spent their energy and effort. And when you put that much like strain on a computer or a system that you're playing it on, a good way to optimize your in-game processing is to not focus so heavily on other parts of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, I think so. Chivalry was the game that I was absolutely thinking of when I was thinking. For Honor kind of took that idea.
For
that
Honor, it's
Chivalry
just rock
originally
paper
had.
scissors.
Yeah, yeah. But it's an interest. It was an interesting. It's an interesting concept, right? To have first-person medieval PvP combat.
Sure.
In
I was really
game.
big into Chivalry when it came out. I was really hyped on that game.
Yeah, that's cool. I never played it. I mean, it was back before I really played PC games, I think. So I never really checked it out.
Right.
But
yeah, it's cool.
I know a lot of people talk highly of it, and
The developers of Chivalry themselves are making a new one too. They had like an open or closed beta, invite only beta a while ago.
Yeah.
For it, and it's basically the same mechanics, except it's kind of biting off of the hype of MOBAs, a little bit, where you have like characters that have different powers instead of just
right
focusing on the medieval fighting and stuff.
I think
like
I
that.
saw somebody play that, like sponsored by them.
Yeah, it's set in like an Arab, Arabian Nights sort of vibe.
I saw that. I didn't think it actually looked very good.
It looks like
but
it
it's
plays
early
the same
on,
way,
so.
but it's just got a different vibe about it. So we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really get anything from the trailer though. Like you said, just kind of vague speakings of war, and then at the end they're like, "Oh, they're coming." It's like, okay, well, who's coming, and who
Yeah,
are
I
we?
think,
Who are we fighting against? And
I think depending on how like compelling the actual story is when the game comes out, it could be another situation of For Honor where it's just like this doesn't need a really poorly written, vague storyline to sell me the mechanics of the game.
Right.
Which is wasted development time. And I mean, maybe they want to tell a story that they find compelling, and hopefully it is. But I don't know if your trailer is that vague.
I mean, that's really just Ubisoft's
Worrisome.
Ubisoft's equation at this point is just to put out a multiplayer game and to just tack on a shitty story to teach you the mechanics. It's like,
Right.
if you're gonna do that, don't give me a story, because that's bullshit, and make the game $40. Because there's very few, if any, purely multiplayer games that I think achieve a $60 price point.
What are those?
I don't know. Because I don't think there is any.
Well, you said very few. Like I thought you had examples or something.
Well, I said very few, if any, but I don't have any examples. That's why I threw in the if any, because I can't think of one right now. With that, I feel
Right.
like a purely multiplayer game that would come out and ask $60 and then justify that. I don't think there's been one yet.
Sure. Yeah. Not to make a weird claim that this is deserving of a $60 price point, but one of my favorite games, one of my favorite multiplayer experiences, I should say, is a multiplayer only title. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's worth $60 still, but it was good enough to like speak to me on some sort of level. But I really liked the Shadowrun release back in the day.
Okay.
Everyone got really hyped on it, and it didn't sell well because it wasn't what people thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because when you say the word Shadowrun, people are like, "Oh, an RPG with magic and technology and all this other shit." And it's like, "Nah, we're just making a shooter set in that world."
Right.
And people were pretty disappointed in that. But I have tons of memories playing that game, and I really love some of the balances in the game. There's a lot of stuff that's like actually not balanced, so it isn't
Right.
perfect by any stretch. But it's just a blast. But yeah, I mean, I still don't even think that's worth $60. So it's really hard to ever get in the wheelhouse.
Yeah.
The only time I would, like I said, on what is it, last week's podcast or whatever, was that if the company can get away with it and sell it for $60, that's what I think it should probably be worth. But I don't know. It's hard for me to argue that most of the titles that drop for 60
Yeah.
are worth 60 to me.
Well, that's Kingdom Come Deliverance. This game is going to be $60, $59.96. So
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're trying to do both the multiplayer and the single player experience. So
yeah.
but
And
like I was saying, if it's half hashed, the single player part,
Yeah.
they probably just did it to help like convince the world that it's justified at being a $60 game.
Right.
So
Well,
hopefully that's not the case.
I'll definitely be excited to see more about this, some gameplay footage. Hopefully, at least one more story trailer to kind of sell me on what is happening. Like, is it full on medieval where we're just fighting another human army? Is there going to be elements of like monsters and creatures and stuff in it, or is it just going to be like
Fantasy.
Yeah, is it going to be fantasy? Is it just going to
I
be
hope.
medieval warfare?
I hope it's a bunch of people running around in plate mail and claymores in their hands, and then aliens invade. That would be dope.
Out of nowhere, the alien ship comes down. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
And it just the camera pans. It's just like the most boring looking aliens you've ever seen.
I don't know. I actually think that would be kind of cool.
It'd be hilarious.
I think it'd be cool. All right, guys. I think so. That is our, I guess, analysis. I mean, it didn't really give us much to analyze. You know, we could just go by kind of previous games that they've made, and then what we hope it is. I mean, they're just for a 2-minute trailer. It didn't really tell you much, and I know some people would say that that's a good thing. You don't want to know it all before the game comes out. I understand that, but at the same time, you need to know enough to get hooked, and I'm not quite sure I know enough at this point to be like, yeah, I'm really excited for that on day one, to play it.
Well,
So-
I mean, that might change in the coming future if
Yeah,
we see more
definitely.
trailers for it. So yeah,
It
let's hope.
definitely could.
Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. I hope it pulls out all the stops and is really good.